Please stop risking like all your last dollars, bro. Please do not get into trading if you have no capital. You need at least $2,000 to $3,000. You don't want to trade your way out of your job, if that makes sense. Whenever I'm looking at the 1 hour time frame, the first thing I try to notice is where is current price, and then from current price, where are my closest highs and lows from current price. So first we're going to point out this one. So this is our current high. So right now we know this is a high, and I can already see it's a higher high. So I'm just going ahead and mark higher high. And from this higher high, normally I would either go back down from where it started, because this is that level of support that we need. That level of support is where all this bullish momentum came in from. So I definitely want to know where that bullish momentum is going to come from, because let's say if we look for sales later on, this will be that first thing that we'll look for, especially for a target, because this is where that bullish momentum came from in the first place. And you can see how, so now we have this low, this higher low. Actually, we have this higher low, and the reason why I say that is because you can see here was a high, and then from that high, this is our previous low, so our previous level of support. But what is very important now is that we have our higher high and our higher low, so we can confirm that this is an uptrend. And from here, we need to focus on what happens next. So after the higher high is created, we can see that price ends up selling down and creating this level of support. This level of support is still a higher low. So this higher low is higher than the previous one, and this would tell us that price is still in this downtrend. And from this level, since we have current price not in, so lower high, lower low. So this determines now that price has switched from an uptrend to a downtrend. And this is what we overall want to look for. We want to look for these swing highs, because they're overall going to tell us what trend we're on. And since they're following off the higher time frame, so since we're trading 1 hour, 4 hour, sometimes daily, these are normally going to hold way stronger than trading off the 5 minute, 15 minute. For your structure, for your entry, 5 minute, 15 minutes is good, but that is honestly 100% okay, because price is not always going to do that. But this is okay because this lets you know that the sellers are getting stronger. They're not letting price have the chance to even push any higher than the previous level that it broke before. So in this case, price ends up making a level of resistance. Now coming into this London session, this is what people have been saying in the videos and comments, is sometimes price makes a low and then it makes an indication to the upside, or it spikes out somewhere or grabs liquidity. And how do they avoid that? So overall, as long as you're trading with the volume, you kind of avoid all the liquidity problems. There will be sometimes, like let's say on news days, where liquidity in the markets during session is still very volatile, and those are just things that you have to take with trading. Trading inside the volume times are going to be very risky because price is moving super heavy. But as long as we're sticking to the higher time frame, we overall can avoid some of the noise that is presented in the markets throughout the session opens or throughout the sessions with volume. So as we continue, price is holding this level. This London session comes in, kicks down just a tad bit, and then pushes up overall. So it ends up a more safer way to do it is waiting for price to come down to that level. So coming down to this level of support, once it comes down to this level of support, you're able to enter off price breaking that level. And you can see that there's a lot of volume because there's buyers sitting here. So you see that reaction towards the buyers. Once price gets to this level, the reaction from the buyers is pretty strong, but the sellers are way stronger under these levels. So since that happened, we can see that price ended up continuing under this level, and you're able to take that trade successfully under this level, or even from the change of structure on that 5 minute time frame. So remember, the whole strategy, the whole point is to use the 1 hour time frame, get on the 1 hour or 4 hour time frame, determine what the trend is, have that trend make an indication showing which direction it wants to go. Once it shows which direction it wants to go, you overall want to say, okay, price is indicating that it's becoming bearish, so I will look for signs that price is becoming bearish. But price is also going to correct once you have those indications. So as soon as you get the indications, price is going to correct. Once it corrects, you'll scale down to a 5 minute to 15 minute time frame, and then you will look for price to go from that bullish to bearish. In this case, all we did was we seen that the 1 hour was bearish. We scaled down to that 5 minute, 15 minute time frame as it was correcting. As it corrected, we started to see the signs price of the 5-minute and 15-minute time frame becoming bearish, overall making its move, we can say that, hey, this is something that we can hold long term. Obviously, take your targets right here. So this will be your first target, and you don't have to set a hard TP. So that means you don't have to set it on your trading platform, but you can kind of set an alert here and see how it goes, and then overall continue to monitor it as it continues to go down. So TP here, hold a couple partials and see what price is going to do furthermore. So lower high, lower low. So this determines now that price has switched from an uptrend to a downtrend. And this is what we overall want to look for. We want to look for these swing highs, because they're overall going to tell us what trend we're on. Since we're trading 1 hour, 4 hour, sometimes daily, these are normally going to hold way stronger than trading off the 5-minute, 15-minute for your structure. I don't need to confuse my brain with all that stuff just to make a couple bucks, just to make a couple thousands. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not like, you can, like, if you trade that way, that's fine. If you trade a little bit complex, that's fine. You can learn all that information. All I need to know is how to get in, how to get out. My win percentage is 90%. I win my buy trades 73% of the time. It's gonna win. What people always want to ask is, how long do I hold my trades? So the longest trade I've held is 4 days, 5 hours, and 59 minutes. So right around 4 days and 6 hours.